everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Lion Collectibles. It's Friday, and you know what we do on Fridays. We pick fights and we show our cards. Huge fight card tomorrow, UFC 283 in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. It's going to be huge. Two main card fights are big. Main event is Jamal Hill taking on Glover Teixeira for the vacant light heavyweight title strap. And then in the co-main event, you have Dibson Figueiredo taking on Brandon Moreno for the flyweight belt, which is their fourth encounter. Both of these men have wins over each other, and then they actually fought to a draw in one of their fights as well. So super exciting, awesome made card to talk about. Do want to talk about the fight night last week and how we performed. UFC fight night, Imanov versus Strickland. Before we hop into that, if you guys have not, please click the like button and subscribe. Love making content for you guys. I want to keep doing it for you. Also, we are ripping cards and wax on Whatnot. My screen name is Wandy by KO. Come join us. I'm trying to have at least 2 shows a week. We're doing weight class breaks. We're ripping packs. All kinds of fun stuff. So if you want to get into the cards, go ahead and follow me there and join us. We have a lot of fun. All right, so the fight night last weekend was pretty cool. It was the first event of the year. I thought there was some great fights. We did a pretty okay. On overall picks, we went 3-2. On our actual fight picks, we went 2-1. So always happy when we can do better than we lost. Let's go ahead and jump into it. In the beginning of the night, really cool fight. I think we saw a star being born in the making. Umar Nurmagomedov came out against Hani Barcelos. He was our first pick, and he did not disappoint. I mean, both of those guys were really fast, as flyweights always are. Umar he's got this kind of striking style that's very explosive. He does not have to rely on the wrestling like some of the other Dagestani Russian wrestlers. And he just looked awesome. Towards the end of the first round, there was a crazy flurry. I believe it was a body kick and then a punch, and he knocked Hani Barcelos out cold. So I think that's a shot across the bow for everybody else in the division. There's a serious contender in Umar, and I'm excited to see what he can do up next. So he got started off the night really well. In the next fight of the night, it was a back and forth fight, Rocky Pennington versus Caitlin Vieira. That fight was super close. I didn't really know what was going to happen. I actually thought they were going to lean towards Vieira. She seemed to kind of take a little bit more of the center. It was mainly a kickboxing fight, not a lot of wrestling, a little bit of clinch work here and there. I thought Rocky did get off on her good enough, but Vieira was definitely the bigger physical force in the fight. So, I thought she probably was going to get it done. I was pleasantly surprised when Rocky ended up getting the win. I had some money on Rocky, and I thought, again, the soon-to-be parent was going to perform well, and she did. So she got the win there. Then we had Punahele Soriano versus Roman Kopylov. That fight didn't go our way. Good thing we didn't put a bet on it, or we didn't make an official pick. Punahele, man, the guy's got power. It looked like he was landing some of it early and having some success, but he seemed to gas a little bit. Kopylov started to land some kicks, started to be a little bit more agile in the striking distance, and I thought, he was going to start pulling away. Sure enough, he did. Punahele suddenly was bloodied up, and that was it. I believe he ended up getting finished in that fight. So we lost that one. Didn't have a bet on it. So that was okay. In the co-main event, super impressed with Dan Ige, 50K. Super cool, man. He's a smaller little bit of a fighter, but I think his striking's awesome. I think his defensive wrestling and wrestling in general is awesome. Damon Jackson, taller frame, a little bit lanky, had some momentum coming in. And Dan Ige wasn't unaffected by it, went straight to work, weathered any kind of little strikes that Damon had, and then really cool finishing sequence where he hit him, I believe, with an uppercut and just really floored Damon Jackson. So that was great for our second win. That was our second fight pick. We were 2-0 going into the main event. Main event didn't go our way. Sean Strickland, on short notice, came in and did what he does best, turned it into a brawl, turned it into a rough, pushing, and the Philly shell defense was there. Just a lot of infighting and volume. Imanov, I thought, looked like the more athletic striker, landed some really good leg kicks, looked pretty good in the first round, most of the second round, and then it was all Strickland down the stretch. Imanov did not have the endurance that Cannonier had in the prior event, and so Strickland was able to take advantage of that. He got a unanimous decision. So overall, that was a pick of ours that we lost. We went 2-1. That brings us to 16-15. We will take it, right? We definitely want to be better than our losses. So we're going to pick 3 fights on the fight card tomorrow. All right, so UFC 283 in Rio de Janeiro coming up to us tomorrow night. 2 title fights. What a treat. The light heavyweight strap, the flyweight belt, super, super exciting. So we'll talk about those shortly. But the main card, it's just great from top to bottom, super exciting. So starting us off on the night, we have a light heavyweight tilt between Paul Craig and Johnny Walker. All right, Johnny Walker, super, super exciting striker. The guy's, for how big he is, he's got a couple flying knee knockouts. He's a little bit of a wild man, kind of a kooky looking dude himself. He's famously known for doing the worm and like really hurting himself or dislocating his shoulder in one of his fights. He's just a wild guy, kind of hard to tell what he's which Johnny Walker's gonna come out, right? He's definitely a striker. This is not trying to take this fight to the ground. He wants to keep the fight on the feet. And the main reason why is because Paul Craig, he's absolutely the opposite. Paul Craig really wants to get this fight to the ground or have it end up on the ground somehow. Paul Craig is not a very good striker, in my opinion. He's very, very slow. I just do not think it's going to bode well for him standing on the feet with someone like Johnny Walker, who could end the fight at any moment if Paul Craig's striking defense isn't that good. So I think he wants to get it to the ground. Main problem, in my opinion, is Paul Craig's not a great takedown artist from what I've seen. I'm surprised at how much success he's had in the UFC. I just don't see him getting to the top of the division. I think he's going to get KO'd more and more as time goes on. He does have a win over Jamal Hill, who's fighting in the main event. That was, in my opinion, kind of a fluke. Like, Jamal Hill kind of hurt him early. The fight went to the ground. Next thing you know, Jamal kind of over-pursued on the ground and ended up getting his arm snapped by Paul Craig. So there is jiu-jitsu chops for Paul Craig. He's a dangerous guy on the ground, but I just don't think he has the chops to get the fight to the ground, and I think he is far and well behind as far as power, striking, and defense. So, in my opinion, I'm leaning towards Johnny Walker here. I think Johnny Walker kind of stalks him down and gets a big KO to start off the night. Only one card for Johnny Walker. I don't have a ton of his. This is his 2022 select card. It's actually a tricolor. I really love these these tricolors. They're not really that special, but I think they're pretty cool looking. That's all I got for him. I got more than a few cards for Paul Craig. So Paul Craig seemed to kind of be a popular guy in the hobby. People kind of like him. He's got a funny character. So this is his select 2022 year. So this is just a silver. It's a silver base. And then this is a silver disco. So he was a rookie in 2022. So these are kind of 2 different parallels of his select cards. This is his rated rookie Don Russ card. Super classic looking card, rated rookie. I love these. Don Russ is one of the first sets that came out last year. So he was in their rated rookie set. This is his Prism Ruby Red Wave. So Prism, one of the higher end brands. Ruby Red Wave is one of their parallel inserts. Pretty cool. And then the last card I have for Paul Craig is his Select Signature. So this is his 2022 Select Auto card with his autograph there. Second fight of the night comes to us from the women's strawweight division. It's Jessica Andrade versus Lauren Murphy. This is a pretty important, pivotal fight for both of these women. Lauren Murphy is kind of on a tear. Not on a tear, but she's on a winning streak right now. She just came up big against Miesha Tate. After falling short to Valentina Shevchenko in her title attempt. And she didn't look good in that title attempt. I mean, Valentina really beat the living crap out of her. Lauren Murphy, though, super, super strong, tough grappler, showed that she can compete on the feet, but really mainly is a strong grappler. She's also a little bit older for the division, so I'm looking for her. She's going on one of her last runs, I think. She's, I believe, 38 or 39, and so, probably getting to the max of her potential there if she can't get past somebody like Jessica Andrade. Jessica Andrade, long-time top contender of the division, has only lost to, Rose, Zhang, and Valentina. I mean, those are her main losses. She's beaten a lot of girls, Shakugian, a couple of the other people that are up and coming. She actually beat Rose famously in one of her title attempts, former champion. Andrade, in my opinion, this is her type of fight to win. I don't think she's super worried about or should be worried about the grappling game of Lauren Murphy. Lauren Murphy is going to try to clinch, kind of try to make it dirty. I think that plays kind of into Andrade's strength. Like, Andrade is known for being smaller, a little bit smaller for the division, but more powerful and explosive. And boy, can she throw bombs. I think this is her type of fight. I think Murphy's going to try to push the pace. Not going to really have a lot of success there, and going to end up taking a bunch of punishment trying to implement her game en route to a KO. I see Andrade getting a big KO here. One card for Lauren Murphy. This is her 2022 Don Russ Optic, the most recent and last set that came out this year. Actually, there's one more set that comes out, but it's the last set so far. Kind of cool silver card of hers. I think it's doing a flying Superman punch. 2 cards for Andrade outside that aren't base. This is her Prism Silver. Pretty cool card of her getting both her hands raised. Nice. I love these silvers. I love the way they shine. And then I do have a numbered card from her. This is her 2022 Chronicles Flux Red. I believe this is numbered out of 199, 103 on the print. I think Andrade gets it done. Next fight of the night is in the welterweight division with 2 top contenders again. Neil Magny versus Gilbert Burns. Gilbert Burns is looking to rebound after failed title attempts. And Neil Magny just got a really, really big win over Daniel Rodriguez that I thought he was losing, but showed his kind of typical toughness and outlasted Rodriguez. That's Neil Magny, right? We know him really well. Tall, lanky, physically imposing guy. Loves to clinch, loves to use elbows, knees, and kind of assert his athleticism on his opponents. On the flip side, you got Gilbert Burns, who's really a super well-rounded guy. Great Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu background, but can also throw bombs and power. Went toe-to-toe with the champion Usman, did not do well, then lost to Khamzat Chimaev in what was like almost fight of the year. Knocked Chimaev down, hurt him. So I really think this is just going to be a really nice, and I feel bad for Magny. I like Magny as a character, but I'm not super convinced that he has what it takes to ever step into that top 5. And the type of fighter he is, I think he's a little bit slower and really needs to use grappling that I think he's not going to have anywhere near the strength to implement that on Burns. And so I think this is really an underhand lob pass to Burns to get back on his feet and reassert himself in the division and put himself right back in the title contention. I think Burns, whether there's any kind of grappling or imposing will from Magny, and then tees up a nice big KO or hurts him really bad and goes for a submission. But I think a KO is coming. One card for Magny. I don't have a ton from him. This is his Don Rush 2022 base card. Nothing too special from him. I have a couple from Gilbert Burns. This is his Prism 2022 card. Pretty cool card with him having his headband on there. This is his Don Russ 2022 base card. I love these bases. They all kind of got that shimmer there. And then the only numbered card I have from him is a 2022 Chronicles base red. Numbered out of 199, 15 on the print. Another pretty cool auction shot. A lot of people collect Gilbert Burns. A lot of people are fans of him in the hobby, so his good cards are few and far between. I think Durinho gets it done this weekend, no problem. Now on to the 2 main events of the night. We got UFC Gold on the line, and you know I love it when the straps are up for grabs. So on the first main event of the night, we have the 125-pound flyweight belt on the line. Divson Figueiredo is defending his title against Brandon Moreno. Super exciting because it's one of the first times, or one of the only times, that you're going to see fighters fight each other for the 4th time in their professional career. A little bit of history. Brandon Moreno was working his way up the ranks while Divson has taken the title from Joe Benavidez. Beat him twice in a row. Joe B, not really fighting anymore, was one of the top guys in the division and beloved character. Divson looks like a monster. He fights a guy named Alex Perez, who's still in the UFC. Handles him no problem. They make this fight between Moreno and Divson. First fight, back and forth, really too close to call, ends up going to decision. So, of course, UFC proceeds to make the rematch. Brandon Moreno looks amazing in the rematch. I mean, really, I thought, he almost outclassed Divson with how much different he looked and how well he fought Divson and kind of played with the Matador against the Bull. Hurt Divson, got him in a rear naked choke. big time champion, Mexican champion, really, really cool for the culture and for the UFC. He's a really cool champion. Doesn't defend the belt. They give an immediate rematch to Divson because, again, he was the defending champion. Draw, loss, give him a rematch. And then that fight, super razor close. Like, thought Moreno was going to probably come out and really pull away. He couldn't. The fight was way too close. And a unanimous decision for Divson comes out. And here we are, fourth fight, giving Brandon Moreno a chance to unify the belts. Divson was hurt for a while. He ended up fighting Kai Frank, which I thought was a super dangerous fight for Moreno. Moreno looked good, hurt him with a really, really bad body kick, and got the finish over Kai Kara to get the interim. Here we are, blockbuster fight for the 125-pound division. Who's really a really well-rounded guy, has some power, but that's not really his striking style. His striking style is nice countering and pinpoint striking. He uses really good leg kicks. Then you got Divson Figueroa, who's definitely what I would say is on the upper echelon of power for the smaller guys. Super explosive, likes to hurt people, has some big KOs. Does have that grappling background like most of these guys do, especially coming from Brazil. But he's really more of a power and a high explosive, high energy output striker. This is a tough one to pick because I think it's close. I would probably lean in a vacuum towards Figueroa. I just think he has some more athletic weapons that Moreno might be able to close the gap with, determination, heart, being focused of a striker, being real technical. But my gut, and I'm just feeling it, I think Moreno's going to get a win here and walk away with the title. But overall, I just think Moreno mentally is the most ready for this fight. At least it appears to me. And I think, outside of the differences in their fight style, I just don't know if an unfocused Divson who's having hard weight cut is going to get it done against a Brandon Moreno who's really focused, made his weight, and just seems to have the right mindset to me. So I think it goes to a decision. I think these guys are really, really close. But I'm going to lean towards Brandon Moreno. I have cooler cards of Divson, which kind of sucks. But first we'll start with Brandon Moreno. This is his 2022 Don Russ. It's a press proof, and this was a purple parallel. Nothing too crazy there. This is his 2022 Select Base Silver. Actually kind of a funny picture in the way the angle there with his leg kind of looks funny in my opinion. And then this is his Premier level, so a little bit more rare. I think a much cooler photo of him. This is a silver of his base as well. And then we'll finish off with the Don Russ Optic for the year. Kind of a cool picture of him. A little bit kind of funky, but at least it's him celebrating. Then I got some really cool Divson cards. This is his Optic. Really cool picture of him after he won the title. That's a little Henry Cejudo, so you got kind of a double card there. This is his 2021 Chronicles Phoenix. It's a red. Phoenix was just one of their brands. At first I didn't like it, but they kind of look cool in my opinion after a while. 174 out of 199. This is his 2022 Chronicles Illusion Red. Also out of 199. 51 on the print. I like the Illusions cards. Pretty cool. Then we get to the good stuff. We have his 2022 Prism Cracked Ice. I ripped this on one of my rip videos not too long ago. Really, really cool. I love the crack ice. They're not numbered. Don't know exactly how low print they are, but I just think it's a beautiful card. Then I got two autos for him. Love these Origins autos. This is a 2021 Chronicles Origin. Really, really cool card. One of my favorites. I love these Origins. Not numbered. A little thick. Just a cool auto card. And then the last one is a 2022 Octagon Signatures. I just feel like I don't see these a ton. This is a blue one. This is him actually fighting Brandon Moreno, so I thought that was cool. And it's numbered at 49, so it's a pretty low print, 5 on the print. I got the cooler cards of Divson, so part of me wants those values to be, increased by him winning. But I think, maybe there's more life ahead at 135 for him. And I'm going with the Mexican Brandon Moreno to get it done and take the 125-pound spot. Last but not least, we have the main event. The light heavyweight championship is on the line. It's vacant. Glover Teixeira is taking on Jamal Hill. Really cool stories for both of these guys. Jamal Hill, younger guy in the division, but has started to make a name for himself. I believe he would be undefeated if it wasn't for the kind of fluke loss, in my opinion, to Paul Craig, where he kind of got his arm snapped. Recently came off a huge KO win of Johnny Walker, who's also fighting early on the fight card. Glover Teixeira, beloved character in MMA, been around forever. Challenged John Jones once upon a time ago for the light heavyweight title. Didn't work out. Long road back to the top, where he finally clinched UFC gold against Jan Blachowicz with a rear naked choke. So happy for him, and it was really cool. Fast forward, he then fights Yuri Prochazka in an amazing fight that he was winning. Hurt Prochazka early. The fight was back and forth, and man, he gave it up at the last moment. Yuri somehow pulls it out, gets a choke, and ends up taking the title from him. Yuri was supposed to fight and defend his title. Yuri gets hurts his arm. We have a currently at the time an interim fight between Jan Blachowicz and Magomed Ankalaev. That fight goes to a draw, and so the UFC opts to have two different fighters fight for the vacant title. Glover and Jamal Hill are up. So really cool kind of circumstances. Again, another kind of unprecedented kind of situation here. Jamal Hill, I've actually heard that he has some really good grappling chops despite that loss to Paul Craig. But really seems to be a very potent striker and have that KO power. Kind of a slick boxing style, likes to counter, and has the power. Glover, on the other hand, great grappling, is proficient on the ground, will use that wrestling when he needs to, and has shown that he can implement that game. Also, great striker. Really good type boxing. Models himself after Tyson, was one of his favorites. And he's used it before in the past to get where he needs to go to get the fight to the ground. I really love Glover, but I can't help but shake a feeling that this is probably Jamal Hill's time to shine. Glover's a little bit older, and he hasn't let that hold him back in the past. But I saw a video when Alex Pereira fought Izzy. It was one of the countdown videos, and he just looked old to me, man. He had a gray beard, older hair. At some point in time, Father Time gets us all. Famous saying is Father Time is undefeated. And I think that's what we're going to see here. I think, if he needs to be careful he doesn't get knocked out really quickly. Like, Jamal Hill has that kind of electric touch. So if he can't get it done early, I think he's going to want to close the distance and go for a grappling fight and try to implement that strength. I think Jamal Hill probably has some kind of sneaky jiu-jitsu. So I don't know if that'll end up working out for him that well either. I was very surprised that Yuri couldn't get it done against him. I don't think Jamal Hill is going to make that mistake. I do have some concerns that Jamal Hill mentally and experience-wise is nowhere near Glover, right? Glover's been at these top. He's fought all in title fights before, so that definitely goes in his advantage. I wouldn't be surprised, so shocked if that experience carries him over Jamal. Jamal gasses maybe. The moment becomes too big for him. Who knows? There's definitely a possibility for that there. But I can't help but feel like athleticism, youth is going to prevail here, in my opinion. So, one card of Jamal Hill. I really don't have a lot of him. It's his 2021 Prism. He was a rookie in 2021. Nothing too crazy for him. I got some cool Glover stuff. So, Glover, these are two base silvers of his. This is his 2022 Prism. I mean, shit, I think he looks old in that one. This is his Don Russ Optic one. I think kind of a cooler picture post-fight. Obviously, he's probably won that fight. This is his My House. So this was an insert in the 2022 Don Russ Optic set. Cool little insert there. And then I got this 2021 Select. I love the way these looked. Red Disco, numbered out of 199. So 95 on the print. This is a cool card, man. I really like it. I love the way these 2021 Selects look. Just a little bit different than this year. And then the last one that I got from him that I'll be holding for a while because I want to hold Legend autos. It's this Action Octagon side, just like the Divson, but the red version of the Octagon Action signatures. And it's Glover Teixeira there. number 69 out of 99 on the print. Okay, so to finish the show off, remember, we are 16 and 15. We're going to pick 3 fights from the fight card this weekend. Let's go ahead and run down, and hopefully it's an awesome fight card. So starting off the night, we have Paul Craig versus Johnny Walker. Johnny Walker is going to KO Paul Craig. I think it's a no-brainer for me, not a question at all. Not going to be one of our 3 picks. Then you got Jessica Andrade going against Lauren Murphy. Another one of these that I'm extremely confident that Andrade is going to KO Lauren Murphy. But I really like to pick the main event fights as a official pick and the co-main. And then I really feel strongly about the third fight of the night, which is Gilbert Burns over Neil Magny. So our first pick, official pick, Gilbert Burns is going to beat Neil Magny. Then in the co-main event of the night, we are going to officially pick Brandon Moreno. Little concern there because I think Dibson's a monster, but I think Brandon Moreno's more focused, going to get the win. So second fight of the night, Brandon Moreno. Then in the main event of the night, probably my most concern, but I just feel it in my bones. I think Jamal Hill is going to become the light heavyweight champion of the UFC. I think he is going to beat Glover Teixeira, but I think it's going to be super close. And truthfully, if Glover Teixeira won, I wouldn't be all that upset because I love him as a character. So Jamal Hill over Glover, Brandon Moreno over Dibson, Gilbert Burns over Neil Magny. Those are our 3 main picks. And then the round out, and then also Jessica Andrade and Johnny Walker are going to KO their guys. So really, thank you for joining me, and hope everybody enjoys the fights tomorrow. They're going to be great. See you guys next time.